up? It's Cinema Shogun here, and it seemed like every day or every other day during the Quinton Simon case, we would learn new details about how, let's just call it what it is, we would learn new details about how bad of a parent and how bad of a mother Leilani Simon was. She couldn't even be bothered to take care of her own kids. She would be off right at home, and she would pay the babysitter chump change to watch her own kids because she didn't even want to be bothered by them. The babysitter, along with various neighbors, they called Child Protection Services. They called DFACS multiple times. One neighbor remembered seeing little toddler, 2-year-old Quinton Simon in nothing but his diapers running along the side of the road. And this is a pretty busy street, or at least it looked like a busy street during the Quinton Simon case. Maybe people just all wanted to ride by that house. But you got trucks and cars, you name it, going pretty fast down that road. And Quinton and his sibling would be out there with no parent, no adult in sight, just little toddlers running around on the side of the road. And then we heard a detail about how Quinton's babysitter's daughter found Leilani's kids in the pool one day. And there was a lot of confusion surrounding that. And it really stuck out to a lot of people because when this case first came about, one of the first things everyone kind of thought, one of the first theories everyone had was, hey, maybe Quinton accidentally drowned in the pool in the backyard. You know, we quickly found out that Leilani was not a good parent at all. We quickly found out that she would be on various substances. Hell, we even found out that during every one of her pregnancies and every one of her births, she had substances in her system. So it didn't seem far-fetched to us early on that maybe, just maybe, Leilani nodded off on something and Quinton went out that back door and winded up in the pool. She found him later, disposed of him. I still think that's a big possibility. And we also know law enforcement drained the pool. Well, as I mentioned, there was a lot of confusion surrounding this as to what kids specifically were found at the pool, when this happened. And luckily, during the special last night, because if you don't already know, maybe you should watch my last video, there was a Quinton Simon special last night on the local news in Savannah. And luckily, the babysitter cleared all of this up for us. So let's go ahead and listen to what she has to say real quick.
Let me ask you about the audio recording that you shared with us.
And I told him, I said, no, you think that we've had problems before? Watch. Because all it takes is one person with one picture to make one phone call, and I probably just lose all of them.
Tell me about it.
The audio recording that I shared was from my daughter's phone. It was a recording of us finding the babies in the pool, and my daughter calls me from work, and I come straight home. We try to get Leilani to the door. There was nobody that answered the door. We didn't know if she was gone or what. Brought the kids back to my house. A few minutes later, Leilani calls wanting if we had the kids. We said yes.
Let me get this right. Which kids were in the pool? Because Zane is what, 5?
Zane, yes. Zane
Quinton
and Quinton.
2? Mm-hmm. She's not even 2.
Right.
And these kids were in the swimming pool alone?
Yes.
Wow.
We always recorded some of the things that she said, and my daughter happened to record it that day, and then she found it.
Did Billy Joe know that you were recording Leilani? You had shared those recordings with her?
No, I hadn't shared them, but she knew that I was recording. I told her I was, because Leilani could make Billy Joe believe anything.
When you heard that recording, what did you think?
I thought it was horrible. I just can't believe that she would be mad at her kids being in the pool when she's the mother. She should have been with her kids up, taking care of her kids.
You know, so far I've been having a really good day today. The weather's nice outside. It's the holidays. I got most of my Christmas shopping done. The house is decorated. I had some Christmas music playing earlier. I got my dog's ugly Christmas sweaters. They're running around here with antlers on and little jingle bells. But I gotta say, despite all of that, hearing this audio from Leilani, it almost ruins my day. It's because I can't even find the words to describe it. But it ticks me off so much. It pisses me off so much. Because she's yelling and she's belligerent. And you can hardly understand the words that are coming out of her mouth because she's geeked up on whatever her drug of choice is. She's slurring all over the place. And she's angry at her kids because she was neglecting her kids. You got a 5 and 2-year-old out here in a pool by themselves. And the craziest part of it is that Leilani's their mother. And of course, she should be responsible. But the babysitter's daughter is more responsible than these own kids' mother. The babysitter's daughter had to go over there and get Quinton and Zane out of the pool. And it was so bad that they find the kids in the pool. It's not like Leilani automatically realizes, oh shit, my kids were in the pool. No. Doors are closed and everything. They're banging on the door. Leilani's not even coming to the door. And you know what? That really makes me think. And it really makes me wonder. Because in my eyes, if your 2 kids are out here playing in the pool by themselves, at the very least, shouldn't a door be open? Or shouldn't there have been some way for the babysitter's daughter to get in the house to tell Leilani about what's going on? But there wasn't. So I wonder if Leilani just didn't want these kids, and maybe sometimes, hey, I'll just put them in the backyard by the pool. Hopefully no accidents happen. You know what I mean? I don't want to go there mentally, and I don't want to speculate like that. But hearing this, and hearing that not only did they find these kids playing in the pool by themselves at the age of 5 and 2 years old, but Leilani wasn't even responding to the door, which means the door wasn't open. And to find them in the pool means you found them in the backyard, so the back door isn't open. And then later on she calls, hey, do you have the kids? And then she acts like she's angry, or she is angry, and she's yelling, angry, when in reality she should be angry with herself because of the type of parent she is. And now, I know a lot of people are going to have different opinions about the fact that they would record Leilani. This is something that we already knew about if you had paid attention to the case throughout. I have very, mixed feelings about it, but when you're dealing with someone like that, and you're dealing with a parent who doesn't care about their kids, and you know that it looks like something's going to happen here. They knew, the babysitter, neighbors, the babysitter's kids, they knew that Leilani was not a good mother and that she wasn't a good parent. And they had an idea that something may happen. And that's why they were taking the steps that they were taking. And I find it really interesting how the babysitter said that they would record this because Leilani would lie to Billy Joe, and she would be able to manipulate and convince Billy Joe that she was telling the truth. That really stuck out to me because I believe that's what is happening right now. The babysitter even spotted it. It happened all the time with the babysitter. Leilani would lie and manipulate her mom into believing whatever she wanted. She would have Billy Joe wrapped around her little finger sometimes. And I think that's happening right now. And all of these people who supposedly are, I don't know, here to support Billy Joe and they're pretending to be Billy Joe's friend and whatnot. I think a real friend would sit Billy Joe down and let Billy Joe know that, hey, you're most likely being manipulated by your daughter again. And your daughter most likely killed Quinton, or an accident happened to Quinton under her watch. And instead of reporting the accident, she threw him in a dumpster, in a trash can. If these YouTube creators and random people who have positioned themselves to pretend to be Billy Joe's friend in order to get attention on YouTube, if they were really Billy Joe's friend, they would have that honest discussion. Because right now, despite the fact that Billy Joe knows, and when I say Billy Joe knows, I don't mean that she knows for a fact. I mean, in her heart, Billy Joe knows what's up. She is lying to herself. And the sooner that the reality of what happened here sets in for her, the better. Because the longer this draws out for her, the worse it's going to be for her. And the bigger of a toll it's going to take on her mentally, physically, and emotionally. You know, if I were her and if I were her friend, I would go ahead and try to hammer home the reality of the situation so it can go ahead and kick in. So she doesn't go down this path of delusions, wanting to find some other nonsensical explanation for what happened to her grandchild, while she fights for Leilani to be freed, hoping that Leilani is really innocent, when we all know that that's not the case. And even the people who are pretending to be her friend right now, even though they entertain her delusions, they know it's not the case either. Now, I know there are some people who probably just feel bad for Billy Joe because of how this whole situation played out and because of the people outside harassing her and stuff. And I understand that as well. I'm just saying that if you're in Billy Joe's corner, you're not doing her any favors by going along with this delusional fairy tale of something else must have happened here and it wasn't Leilani, because I just feel like that's going to be even worse on her mentally and emotionally. So I don't think that should even be happening right now. You know, because I think on her own, she would come to this realization if there wasn't people enabling her to believe that other possibilities are still possible. And I'm someone that believes anything is possible, but this story is pretty much set in stone at this point. All we need to figure out is what exactly happened to Quinton. We all know who was responsible for Quinton at that time. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, join me over on Swagit. Download the Swagit app. Click the link that I will have in the pinned comment of this video. It should take you right there. And once you follow me, you will be automatically entered into not only the $100 giveaway, but the $50 giveaway that I am doing this weekend. So go ahead, follow me on Swagit. And while you're here, let me know your thoughts about this case and everything that we talked about in this video down in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and I will talk to you all in the next video.